Good day everyone! Today we will discuss about the network architecture. I hope you guys will listen and watch this video until the end. This chapter is about the design of the network. The next chapter will be how this network operates. A site's network is the foundation of its infrastructure. A poorly built network affects all other components of the system. A network cannot be considered in isolation. Decisions made as part of the network design and implementation process influence how infrastructure services are implemented. So, the physical networks daw, it means yan yung mga ginagamit natin ng yung mga cable, UTP cable, ay mga router, yan, all pa yung ginagamit natin sa pag-connect ng network, ano pa mga modem, ayan. Then sa logical network naman, ay siya yung paano natin kinoconnect yung mga devices sa isa't isa. Paano sila nagpapangita at paano sila nako-connect sa network. VLANs versus subnets. A subnet is a network segment, so ayaw natin basahin. So yan, subnet ay consists of yan ay mga IP addresses. So, ang VLAN naman or virtual local area network ay siya ay ginagamit sa to group switch ports into different LAN segments. The OSI model. Alam naman natin yung layer 1 is the physical layer, then the layer 2 data link layer, layer 3 ay network, and then layer 4 ayan the transportation layer, the layer 5 the session layer, and then next layer 6 presentation layer, then the layer 7 ay the application layer. Ayan. We have additional layers, yung user, financial, and the political. Wired office networks. Office networks tend to have a mixture of wired and wireless. So, ayan. Ang office networks daw ay merong wired at wireless. Yung wired ay ang wired networks ay yung gumagamit siya ng mga wired like mga UTP cable. So, ang wired connections daw ay more reliable. Yun. Mas maganda siyang gamitin kasi siya ay mas mabilis compared sa wireless network. Kasi yung wired connections is direkta na siya. Wala na siyang network traffic. So, yung UTP cable, connected na siya doon sa ating computer then sa router. So, kaya mabilis talaga ang kanyang connection. So, itong physical infrastructure. Yan. For a wired network, a person plugs a device into a network jack at his or her desk. So, itong physical infrastructure, for example, yung sa computer shop, panakita natin, nakagamit nila dun is yung mga UTP cable na nakakonekta doon sa mga PC, then, di ba maganda yung pagkakagawa nila, organized, mga siya sa wall, yung maayos ang pagkakabit papunta doon sa mga router. So, primary strategies for dividing an office LAN into subnets. So, yan, one big subnet, there's single subnet. So, may isa lang daw, subnet, yan. Works well for a small office. Then, for plan-centric, one subnet is allocated to each hallway or area of a building. Yun. So, then, security level, privileged users are on different subnet. This model is used when filtering and access are based on IP addresses. So, dito sinasala yung mga networks na dapat ay konektado lang. Baka may mga ibang mga takalabas na na-connect na pala. Change control level. Subnet assignment is based on stability needs. Then, the device function. Particular devices are put on a separate subnet. The subnet for device function is commonly used to separate entrusted devices. So, lahat mga devices may iba't ibang functions. So, yun ay naka-separate. Magkakaiba yan ng subnet. So, network access control determines whether a device that connects to your network is permitted to join. So, ayan, para itong gateway So, kapag hindi ka taga dito, halimbawa, hindi ka taga Minsu, hindi ka pwedeng pumasok. Ayan. Yun ang trabaho ni NAC or the Network Access Control. NAC options include the following. MAC base. NAC involves checking the MAC address of the machine against a database of authorized MACs. So, ayan. Yung mga connected networks ay chine-check niya yung mga MAC address. Authentication base. NAC involves the end user supplying credentials to connect to the network. So, ayan. Bago ka makakonect sa network, so, meron dapat mga credentials like yung mga password ng Wi-Fi. Then, certificate base. NAC involves a one-time verification that the person is who or she claims to be and then installs a certificate on the person's machine. So, ayan. Kaya merong mga tanong doon like, ginagamit din to sa yung mga email verification and phone number verifications o yung mga security PIN, yung mga password din. Location for emergency services. So, yan, kapag daw magda-design ng network, dapat tayo i-consider yung kapag may emergency, paano mabilis na masasend doon sa mga mga police station kung nasaan ka at kung anong pangyayari na doon. Paano agad mahuhuli yung tao na papanganib. Wireless office networks. Wireless networks are more convenient than wired networks. So, ayan, alam naman natin, di ba, yung ating mga cellphone, ayan, gamit niyan ay mga wireless networks. Kahit saan ka pumunta, hindi ka na kailangan mag-connect ng mga cables. Then, kahit saan ka tumayo, kahit sa CR ka pa, dala-dala natin mga devices natin. And then, kapag may mga cables, may nasira na cables, hindi ka na mag-aayos. Kasi, wala naman cable na nakakonect. Physical infrastructure. The most important aspects of a wireless network are that it has good coverage and sufficient bandwidth, that is install at home Wi-Fi base station and expect to have a working office network. An office is larger and has more users, more sources of interference, a higher bandwidth demands. So, logical design. As with wired networks, you should have some network access control. NAC will put devices into different VLANs based on the type of devices. So, ayan. For example, din sa isang company, so, yung VLAN, ginugroup niya yung mga, merong isang VLAN sa mga employee, merong VLAN din sa mga devices ng mga guest, at meron ding VLAN sa mga offices, yung sa mga manager, ganun. So, magkakaiba sila ng VLAN. Data center networks. The LAN in your data center has different requirements that the LAN in your office. So, magkaiba daw ng requirements yung sa LAN sa data center. The data center has a higher density of machines and higher bandwidth demands. Rather than jacks connected to IDFS, we have racks of equipment. So, sa data center, so madaming mga machines. Dapat talaga dyan ay higher bandwidth. So, hindi lang siya basta yung mga jacks sa connect. Kailangan niya ay mga racks of equipment talaga. Next. There are a number of different strategies for wiring a data center. The three most popular are having a central switch, individual switches in each rack, and data center fabric systems. So, ito yung central switch with patch panels. So, ito yung kanilang patch panel. Nakagamit na ako ng patch panel na to, pero hindi ganyan. Iba. Yung nagamit ko ay yung bawat, iba yung mga sa UTP cable kapag yun ay binalatan. May mga color coding doon. Ito, physical infrastructure. So, yun o. Ito ginagamit sa mga company. Ng malalaking company, madami mga cables na mga nakakonect. And then, that's all. The other slides will be presented by Mark Darrell Clavo.
One tour per rack connected to a core. This is a more modern configuration. Each rack has its own switch called a Tor switch. Even if it isn't at the top of the rack, machines in a rack connect to a rack's Tor. The Tors all have high-speed connections to a central switch or switches. Two ferrach connected to a core. This is a fabric hood. The fabric switches are located on the top and the two switches are in the bottom. One strategies, office and data centers are connected via long-distance network technologies. This interconnection between locations is called a wide area network. There are two primary aspects to this strategy: the topology and technology. Topology is the network diagram. Technology is the equipment and protocols used to make those connections. Topology. Common topologies include star, multi-star, ring, and cloud topology. This is the example of multi-star topology for a WAN. This is an example of star topology. Another topology is the ring topology. Technology. The technology one uses to implement a topology generally falls into one of two categories: dedicated lines or virtual private networks over the internet. With a dedicated line, you list a network connection between 2 points. A VPN sends packets over the internet in a way that looks like a point-to-point link to your equipment. Static routing. Static routing takes advantage of the fact that a router always knows how to talk directly to a subnet that is directly connected to it. In other words, if you have only one router, there is no need for a fancy routing protocol, since it knows how to route packets between its subnets. Basically, in static routing, you don't need to configure the network of your PC. All devices connected in the same network can be seen each other and can share files. Interior routing protocol. Another strategy is to use a routing protocol such as OSPF and EIGRP that enables each router to communicate with its neighboring routers to advertise which subnets are connected to it. Interior Gateway Protocol. This routing protocol communicates between autonomous systems. The Exterior Gateway Protocol is used to connect the two divisions with its term exterior. It's used to connect the devices outside the range or out of the building. Internet access. There are two aspects to internet connectivity. Outbound internet access. How people in the company access services on the internet. Inbound access. How the company makes services available on the internet. Outbound connectivity. The internet is a source of ever-changing threats and attacks. Inbound connectivity. Inbound access to the company's own services offers the greatest attack surface, particularly for distributed denial or service attacks.
That's all, guys. Thank you for watching and listening in this video.